call a body cam, and it stays with you, and everything that the police officer does is recorded.
Exactly.
But coming from the PCA, the director David West is who we are speaking to, director of the Police Complaints Authority. These body cams, it has been at different times offered that they are tampered with. In the sense that an officer is going to see something, or he's going to turn the camera the other way and stuff. But more important than that is the integrity of the data on it. How is that patrolled best to ensure that in fact what the camera see has not been altered?
Well, in this modern day of technology, you know whether a camera has been switched off, it's been paused, it's been turned, and the police officer on the beat who's coming across a situation, I don't think would have the time to interfere with the camera.
Between the incident and when it's
he
in
won't
fact.
He won't be allowed to.
So the protection, again, and this is part of what you said earlier, and I'm going to continue with the body cam in a second, but I want to stay with that area you mentioned because, again, I'm looking at the factors that remove the confidence of the citizenry in a body like yours. I believe it is very important that there be that sort of belief, that kind of trust, that strong trust relationship, and the area of in the protection of data.
Yes.
Now, you said nothing is going to leak out from us. Fine. Would your office be the collector, the custodian, and to ensure is there? You know what I'm saying. If you're in a sensitive situation, I come and I give you information, it's protected in your office, and
yes.
I'm happy. But at some point, it goes somewhere else.
Well,
the data protection, the confidentiality, the security of that.
Well, currently, as it stands right now, yes, it does go somewhere else because we have to make recommendations.
Mm-hmm.
And based on those recommendations, we'll have to do a report. I mean, with statements, etc., exhibits that go across to the DPP and also to the Commissioner of Police. If we get our powers to prosecute, everything stays within in-house.
It stays there. Mm-hmm.
So it doesn't go out anywhere.
Okay.
So, but, again, coming back to this data, we recommended that the use of CCTV footage cameras within all the police stations and also to near interview rooms, jail cells, etc. All the important sensitive areas within a police station, they should have a camera.
Mm-hmm.
We recommended that that data be stored off-site, not by the police station, because it could burn or something could happen to it. It could disappear.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm not sure currently what happens with the CCTV footage. I know when we get a complaint made, and we need CCTV footage, we immediately ask the police station for that footage. That's within about 2 or 3 days.
Mm-hmm.
But if we have to go back in time, I'm not sure whether or not, let's say 6 months or 3 months, I am not sure whether or not that footage will still be kept by the police. So, these are questions that we need to ask, and these are questions we need answers to. Because at the end of the day, we all want a better police service, because we all want to be able to trust the police. And this is what we have been trying to get through to the police. We are not the enemy, but we want to assist you in the public gaining trust in your ability to detect crime.
Mm-hmm.
Okay?
Mm-hmm.
And once the public gains that trust in you, then the public will come forward with information.
Part of the discussions we're having relates to the rose at the top of the garden of the PCA, which is the session that they're having, challenges and benefits of oversight bodies and civilian oversight institutions. Are you hoping from this to set up a sort of Interpol modeled kind of cooperation with these agencies?
Well, what we're hoping to do is we're hoping to have an understanding with these agencies that, you have to, be open and be more transparent. The PCA is an oversight body looking at ways and means of making your institution better. Okay, we want to better that. And coming back to the conference a bit on the Thursday from the afternoon session, we want to have an agreement of the Caribbean Association for Oversight of Law Enforcement Bodies, signed on to by all the Caribbean countries that will be there. And so far, the Caribbean countries we have come in, the PCA in Bahamas, Barbados, Belize, Bermuda, Cayman Islands, Jamaica, Grenada, Guyana, St. Lucia, St. Vincent. Okay, so it's quite a few.
Mm-hmm.
So, like how, because Canada has KCOL and North America has NACOL, we want to have KFOL, that is the Caribbean Association of law enforcement bodies. Now, once this agreement we have here is in draft and it's been sent out to all the bodies for comment. So when we come on Thursday afternoon, we can see how we want to develop it and make adjustments to it. But most importantly is the objectives of this agreement. And some of the objectives, if you don't mind me just saying,
please,
it's enhance the oversight of law enforcement throughout the Caribbean region by encouraging and promoting the development of impartial, competent, efficient, and effective oversight of law enforcement bodies, to promote and protect independence and the highest standards of integrity and accountability among members, to undertake research into administration of oversight law enforcement with a view to improving the quality of such administration within the Caribbean region. You see how important it is? So you see what we're trying to do. Establish and maintain links with body sharing similar aims and objectives within and without and out with the Caribbean region. So we want to have contacts to be able to talk to somebody to say, what happens in St. Lucia?
Yes.
What do you do in St. Vincent? We want to be able to understand what do you all do, because we all want to, at the end of the day, we all want the same thing.
And we all benefit from it, yes,
exactly.
Of course.
We want to support, offer mutual support to oversight of law enforcement bodies. We want to educate the public by developing mechanisms to enhance police and community relations, educate law enforcement agencies, and encourage law enforcement to respond appropriately to the public. Encourage the highest ethical standards in organizations which provide oversight of law enforcement oversight bodies. So you see, at the end of the day, we all want to live in a better society. Everybody wants that. And this is just one way we can do it. So we have a structured way of moving forward within the region in civilian oversight. So everybody's on the same page. And even when I'm hoping that even when police officers have their Caribbean outreach or their Caribbean get-togethers, they can involve the PCAs in the different regions to hear how we can assist them.
It is usually insightful, it is equally insightful, rather, that you have Rennie Cummings who will be moderating this, because the question of technology and data-driven decisions is always very important, as against folks having a feel or relying on my experience says so and so, but having the data to support it and using the technological tools to assist in that is going to go a long way.
Yeah, we are very lucky, and I'm very happy that she has agreed to come on board, and she has worked with our coordinator and our secretariat, and her input is important. And at the end of the day, this is the first of its kind, and we want to have the best conference. Many times people go to conferences, and they talk and they make promises. Yes, we'll do so, and nothing gets done. Well, at this conference, I want to make sure things get done. The first thing is everybody signing on to this agreement. Secondly is we have a follow-up, and we get things done. If Trinidad can get our amendment to the legislation, other countries can see what has happened. I know Guyana, for example. Guyana used to operate on our old act where the police investigated the police. Now they have a chairman with 4 investigators for the whole of Guyana, just 4. But it's a start, because Guyana understood the change. All right, and so it's fantastic. Barbados, though, they have the police investigating police. So we're trying to get Barbados to come on board to change how their structure is. You see? You cannot have
the guards patrolling the guards. That is
you can't.
Even from a perception standpoint, it does not work. I want to ask you a question about that, because it was in the public domain. Again, listeners, we're talking about the conference that's coming up, the cooperation of all like bodies like the PCA coming together for the purpose of exchanging ideas and coming up with central ways in which things are proposed, a uniform way. But it has been in the public arena by some folks, and I am pretty sure I remember reading that you said that is not so, but let me have you deal with it now. The question of there being former police officers who work in the office of the Police Complaints Authority, and folks are saying that they are worried about that because what it means is that this one may know that one, that sort of thing. How do you address?
We have no police officers working within the PCA. However, we do have retired police officers working there in the PCA. They have retired, so they are no longer beholden to, or they no longer have allegiance towards the police service. And we also have in their contracts that if there's a conflict of interest, they must disclose that. So if it is that a former officer in the PCA is investigating another officer and we realized that they were from the same batch, or there was some kind of conflict, and we find out about that, he will be terminated immediately. Okay, because we have as our mantra confidence and trust, and if that happens, and if that is in any way the slightest broken by an investigator in the PCA, and what we've been trying to instill in the public, because we want you to come forward, well then no, he or she will be terminated immediately.
Good enough. Give me a clearer understanding of the relationship, which must be one of high priority, your relationship with the police commissioner.
Well, I have a very cordial relationship with the police commissioner.
Not individually, but the hierarchy of the police system as well.
Exactly. We have it's www.pca.org.tt. You could just Google PCA and you'll get it. And share. We have a Facebook page also to share your concerns, share your questions, because we want to hear from you, the public, so we can do a better job. We're not perfect. I mean, I'm never going to say we got it right, I'm correct. We need to hear from you to better, build our capacity to help the police.
Director David West is our guest here. Just to be clear and for our audience to get it really, really clear, you're saying that those who may have complaints against police officers don't feel comfortable. We encourage them to come in person, because that's the only way you can prosecute. You need to have people there. But if someone wants to drop a dime, as it were, they can in fact go to your website and drop a dime.
Yes, they can. And that we also too, that's one of the ways we can initiate a complaint.
Gotcha. Director David West of the PCA is with us. We're talking about their conferences coming up 16th and 17th, bringing bodies from across the world for this, the inaugural conference. First time here in Trinidad and Tobago of all these bodies getting together. In every organization, in every grouping, in every gathering, there is what you call it, top of the line. There is some organization, there is some body, there is some one that you want to emulate. Of all these bodies doing the PCA thing that we have recognized, is there a body that says where it has the most success that, for instance, Trinidad and Tobago may want to emulate?
Yeah, very good. Yes, Jamaica. Without a doubt, in the region, Jamaica is the shining example of what an independent body should be. Jamaica has its own building, okay? They have their own independent investigators who are not police officers. They also have their own budget. They also have a commissioner. They also have, very importantly, and what we also want is their own laboratory, where they analyze exhibits. They could analyze bullets, analyze firearms, they could analyze blood. They have a drying machine. They have their own forensic expert that comes down from the US twice a month or once a month, as the case may be, to analyze these exhibits for them. So they don't need to rely on the government service. Our Forensic Science Center is very slow. To put it mildly.
Well, putting it very mildly. What is it? We have one person or two at best. Half times nobody's there.
Exactly. So but you see, and this is what we want to get. Because in Jamaica also too. Now Jamaican investigators have the coercive powers of the police, so they can handle firearms, they can handle narcotics, because we don't have that as yet, and this is what some of the amendments we are hoping to get. But that's why Jamaica is seen as the shining light, and Jamaica can also prosecute. Then you come prosecute. So again, I said Mr. Terrence Williams will be down here. I have met him already. I have gone to Jamaica. I have seen what he has. It is really refreshing to know that Jamaica has taken that leap of faith. Mr. Williams has had his contract renewed, so it's his term, I shouldn't say contract, I say his term renewed, which is very, very good. So he is somebody who has taken Jamaica forward, and I hope he could pull Trinidad along, in terms of civilian oversight.